This is a really nice one. First, we are given a sequence of circles, and they all have these equations. So if n is equal to 1, we get the circle. When n is equal to 2, that's the second one. And then we have the third one, fourth one, and so on, so on, so on. And what we are going to do is that we are going to shade in their consecutive parts, right? Not the first one, but inside of the second, outside of the first. Not the third one, but inside of the fourth, but outside of the third, and so on, so on, so on. The question is, we would like to know the total area, right, that are shaded in when we have 100 such circles. Okay, of course, we're talking about the area of the circles. We have to know the radius first, right? Let's start with this equation. I'm going to distribute and then move the terms to the other side. So we get x squared minus 2nx, and then we add y squared minus 2ny, and that will give us 0. And then I'm going to complete the square. Take half of this, which is just n, square that. So I will have to n square here. Same thing here, we add n squared here. So we are adding 2n squared. Now this, factor it, we get x minus n squared. This is y minus n squared, and that's 2n squared. So right here, I'm going to denote this to be the what? Radius squared. And remember, this is just for some particular n, so I'll put on a little subscript here. Now have a look. The first area that we will get is the difference between C2 and C1. And then the second area that we will get is the difference between C4 and C3. So in general, we have to find the area between C, when the subscript is, let's say 2n, the even terms, and then the previous was Cn minus 1. Okay, for this circle, it has the area pi r squared. And for the r squared, I can just go ahead and plug in whatever this is into here. The subscript is 2n, so I have to plug in 2n right here. So that will be 2 times 2n squared. Okay, and then minus C2n minus 1, same thing, pi r squared. So we just multiply 2n minus 1 squared. Now simplify this a little bit. 2 pi, and then 2n squared is just 4n squared, and then minus, expand this, we get 4n squared, minus 2 times this and that, and then plus 1. And we see that's just 2 pi, and this and that cancel, distribute, we get 4n minus 1. So have a look. The areas is just going to be this right here. If n is equal to 2, we get this area right here. When n is equal to 2, then we are talking about this area here. So what we will have to do is we just have to add up all these possibilities from n equals 1 to what? We want to have a total of 100 circles. N will be 50. So let's just go ahead and continue. So the first term is 2 pi times 4 times 1, and then minus 1. And then second one, 2 pi, 4 times 2, minus 1. And then so on, so on, so on. We have to do it until we hit when n is equal to 50. So that we can get a total of 100 circles. Now we can factor out 2 pi. And this right here is just 3. And this right here is going to be 7. And then the last one is going to be 199. And this right here is just an arithmetic series. So we can use the formula to add this up. The formula is however many terms there are, which is 50 terms, divide that by 2, and then you multiply the sum of the first term by the sum of the first term with the last term. So let's see, this right here is going to be 50 pi times 202, and all in all we will end up with 100 pi, and that will be the answer.